Can't wait to see you guys at the World Championships in Budapest.
And we had all been waiting for that. However, it appears that the wait was for naught. Yes, unfortunately, you heard it right. We had all been looking forward to seeing Sydney McLaughlin Levrone make history in the 400-meter flat after owning the 400-meter hurdles for years. Sadly, though, we wouldn't be seeing that anytime soon. To be fair, Sydney had been looking forward to running in the 400 meters in Budapest too. It's just that she has to prioritize her health, which everyone understands for sure. After all, she can still prove to the world that she's strong enough to compete and win in different events, even after deciding to sit out the Worlds. And since we wouldn't be seeing her run in Budapest after looking forward to it for months, let's take a look at Sydney's races this year and try to decide if she could have won in Budapest if she didn't decide to withdraw from the event. It was in early June when Sydney McLaughlin Levrone opened her first outdoor race of the season at the 2023 Paris Diamond League. It was then that she first strayed from the 400 meters hurdles, where she is the reigning Olympic and world champion and 4 times broke the world record. At the time, sports analysts and enthusiasts said that however she performed at the event could dictate the rest of her season, and may even impact her 2024 Olympic plans as well. Her prospects didn't look good at first, especially since she was going to run against Marilady Paulino of the Dominican Republic, the Olympic and world silver medalist in the 400, and Salwa Eid Nasser of Bahrain, the 2019 world champion. When Sydney finished the race in second place, it came as a surprise. Imagine, it was her first 400-meter flat race in 5 years, and yet she outran the 2019 world champion. That's quite a start, both in her 2023 season and her 400-meter flat journey. She literally had a great start in the race too, starting fast out of the blocks in her first flat lap race in nearly 5 years.
There go. But a test for McLaughlin Levrone, who has got Marilady Paulino up on her shoulder. She's already drifting past her, a really aggressive first 100 meters, and now
as can be expected, Paulino caught up with Sydney down the final bend before pulling ahead on the straight to take victory in a meeting record 49.12.
Working really hard. This is brilliant from Paulino. It looks like Levrone went too quickly. McLaughlin has been reeled in here. She's paid for that aggression. Paulino much more measured, and she comes through in 49.12. It is a meeting record just
after her first race of the season, people were clamoring to know which event she'll be competing in Budapest. Her specialty event, the 400-meter hurdles, or her new event, the 400-meter flat. At the time, though, she still wasn't sure if she would be competing in the hurdles or flat in the World Championships. Is it bad to say, I don't know? She said in a press conference. But her succeeding races were all in the 400-meter flats, so people began to assume that she'd probably be on the 400-meter flat list instead of the 400-meter hurdles. Just so you know, running at both events isn't feasible because of the schedule. Sydney's next race was at the NYC Grand Prix, where she ran against Gabby Thomas, who also specializes in a different event, but has decided to run in the 400-meter flat. While both are great athletes and outstanding runners in their respective events, it was Sydney who reached the finish line first. At the 30-second mark, the gap between the two was very obvious.
Top bend now. This is McLaughlin alone. She'll show all that strength from the women's 400-meter hurdle.
Gabby Thomas was remarkably fast, but Sydney wasn't just about to let her be.
Home straight. Gabby Thomas finishing well, but it is Sydney McLaughlin alone, driving all the way to the line.
So at the end of the race, it was Sydney who cruised to victory at the NYC Grand Prix. That's not all. Sydney achieved
and a new personal best, 49.51,
which is also notably the 4th fastest time in the world this year. In an interview, Sydney admitted that the 400-meter sprint may have the same distance as her event, the 400-meter hurdles, but that's where the similarity stops. The flat is definitely harder in my opinion. It's hard to kind of figure out your cadence mid-race. At least with hurdles, I kind of know where I'm at. It's a different kind of pain, but the challenging good one, Sydney said. Compared to the Diamond League race in Paris, I went out a little more conservatively to kind of feel the back end a little bit better. I did a good job of that, she told reporters. Some things to clean up, but a PR is a PR. After that win, Sydney gained more confidence in running the 400 meters, so it wasn't surprising at all when she cruised to a 400-meter heat win on the opening day of the 2023 U.S. Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon, early last month. Shortly after that, Sydney put up a 49.79 time to easily win the day's third heat. After all 4 heats, McLaughlin's time was the fastest overall, ahead of Britton Wilson's 50.08 and Lina Irby-Jackson's 50.80. That said, it wouldn't surprise you at all to know that Sydney McLaughlin Levrone sprinted to a win at the U.S. Championships. Although, according to her husband,
so it's been a little difficult for her to find that rhythm, but I think today she kind of put a lot of it together. I won't say she put all of it together. There's more to still go get. I know my wife's going to go get it, but I think that internal rhythm's starting to come together for her. The more reps she gets, she'll figure it out.
That's evident to us now, especially since she claimed the national title with a time of 48.74 seconds at Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon.
The meet record is 49.27. The American record is 48.70. Sydney McLaughlin Levrone is a national champion at a new event at a 48.75.
What's more, she almost broke the American record of 48.70 set by Sanya Richards-Ross in 2006. She may not have done it, but Sydney is now the 3rd U.S. woman in history to run under 49 seconds with her U.S. championship in the 400 meter, clocking at 48.74 seconds, which is also the fastest of the year so far. That time was just 0.04 seconds slower than Sanya Richards-Ross's American record and put McLaughlin Levrone 10th on the all-time list. The greats always push themselves, and I want to be one of them. So I have to push myself and get out of my comfort zone, McLaughlin told U.S. broadcaster NBC afterward. I'm just happy to be here. And like most of you, we had been looking forward to seeing Sydney exhibit greatness in Budapest in just a few more days, but our high hopes had been dashed. But for good reason, so that makes it easier to accept. In an Instagram story just a few days ago, Sydney announced that she will not compete at the upcoming World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. I am sad to share that I must withdraw from this year's World Championships meet in Budapest, wrote McLaughlin Levrone. After consulting with my doctors and coaches, I need to take care of a minor knee issue so that I can be fully healthy for next year's Paris Olympics. I look forward to seeing everyone back on the track soon. That we will for sure, and we can't wait to see her compete again when she's healthy enough to do so. In light of that, we may be looking forward to seeing Sydney in Paris next year, but we still don't know which event she will choose to compete in, or if she'd choose to run in both the 400-meter hurdles and 400-meter flat. Unlike the world's 400-meter hurdles double is more feasible in Paris, given one could do both events without ever racing more than once per day. We're still focused on 2023, McLaughlin Levrone said in June. One step at a time, literally. Obviously that's something as the season comes to an end and we'll kind of start to look and figure out what our plan is for next year. However, their 2023 plans for the Worlds came to a sudden halt after Sydney announced her withdrawal from the event. For now, though, let's wish her a speedy recovery and enjoy a well-deserved rest after all her major races so far this season. There is something else you can look forward to in Budapest, though, the 200-meter battle to greatness between Arian Knighton and Noah Lyles. Watch this to find out why.